Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the Easy Allies Community Showcase, brought to you by Ian Hinck.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're our sponsor. Pay up.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Get my wallet.
What this is, if you're just tuning in, some people are aware. Let me know if everything looks okay, sounds okay. If you are not aware, the Community Showcase is a $10 and above tier on patreon.com/easyallies. It is where it was previously community comments, where we would go and just read a bunch of fun musings from our community. That still makes up the bulk of the Community Showcase, just people talking about stuff, people writing, some creative writing in here. We have a new chapter. It's not just Randy Verschutin. We have the beginning of a new chapter from Cisco Ace Jackson Garcia. But we basically just want to continue a conversation with our community, but we also want to showcase the wonderful artistic styles of our community. We have people that take lovely photographs. We have we've been following Tim Beshan on his trip around the world. Michael Gansey, aka Mike Hook, has we have 16 different photographs to show off today, along with another comment, and we got some videos to watch. We got some art to appreciate. We got some music to jam out to. So let's jump in. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's dive in. Ian said he was a little sleepy. He's just gonna kick back on the couch there,
I'm just gonna
read him stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Spyro remaster confirmed. Spyro this morning is looking good.
Yeah.
Might never jumped into that Spyro. Might be the time. Brandon Kagan kicking it off with the next 3 showcases already planned out, all concerning E3. I guess planned out for him. Brandon's got his posts prepped. I'm guessing that's what that means. This month was a little difficult to think of something to say, so I decided to share what I'm currently anticipating. 5 groups ranked from least to most anticipated. Lowest priority are Detroit Become Human and Beyond Good and Evil 2. While the former was something I was going to pass on, each trailer that drops makes me more interested. As for the latter, I need a lot more information before I ultimately decide if it's for me, although it helps, it'll be a prequel. Detroit Become Human.
Yeah,
yes?
I'll play it.
Oh, okay.
It looks interesting enough.
I think that was a couple people's toaster strudels in the last podcast, so...
I can never remember. Is that good or bad?
Bad.
Okay.
Toaster strudels.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be not good.
Well, cautious.
Yeah.
Somebody hands you a toaster strudel.
Here's the deal, like, by now we know, with the David Kage game, David Kage,
Right.
you know what you're getting into.
Right. Beyond Good and Evil 2, though. Who knows?
Oh.
It could be, looks like a big step up.
It could be like the greatest thing that ever happened or the worst thing that ever happened.
Low priority belongs to Death Stranding and Cyberpunk 2077, but my curiosity is too strong in finding out just what these games are. In case of Cyberpunk, the more I'm hearing, the more I'm liking.
Yeah.
You excited for either of those?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cyberpunk, I'm really excited for. Death Stranding, I want to see just to believe, I guess?
Seems like that Cyberpunk trailer's coming.
Oh,
I think the sentiment is
I
pretty
think we're
strong
seeing
there.
Cyberpunk at E3, for sure.
3 games are medium priority. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Metro Exodus, and Anthem. The previous 2 Tomb Raiders were quite enjoyable, so that alone is why I'm excited for Shadow, and for that reason. Because of the E3 trailer during Microsoft's conference, Metro Exodus made me want to try the series for the first time, which was not technically gameplay. It was like maybe an engine, but it wasn't gameplay, so
yeah.
they got him.
Yeah.
They snagooked him.
That train looks cool, though.
Well, that is a cool-looking train.
It's a cool-looking train.
While the previous 2 games have some issues, there's enough to keep it on my list. Anthem is in danger of being the game to be dropped from my list entirely because of 2 words: Electronic Arts. I've really soured over EA over the last calendar year and their business practices of microtransactions, always online focus, and closing studios for not reaching their too high expectations terrify me. Imagine if you worked there. High priority games are... That was my little assault in there.
Yeah.
High priority games are God of War, Days Gone, yeah baby, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I recently concluded a full series playthrough of God of War to prep for April 20th, and I'm really happy to hear the glowing praise for the upcoming release. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only person who seems to be excited for Days Gone. I'm also very excited. A lot of lukewarm reception has been present since its unveiling, and while I'm fine with it being pushed to 2019, I hope the final game will be worth the wait. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is my most anticipated Xbox game. There is not a more beautiful game to me. And finally, my most 3 anticipated games, which he talks the least about: The Last of Us Part 2, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Will we get the latter 2? At this point, who knows?
No.
If you had in front of you God of War, Days Gone, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Kingdom Hearts 3, and The Last of Us Part 2, what would you partake in?
Final Fantasy VII.
Ooh.
And then Ori. I love the phrase "Will of the Wisps."
Yeah.
It's so fun to say.
It is fun. It is very, very fun.
We love the wisps.
Randy Verschuren,
Wisps.
Part 7. Are you prepared?
I'm prepared. I just read all the other parts before this. Although, wait, they ended on part 5.
Feature you more than me.
Huh? I'm just sitting here.
Yeah. I'll scoot.
I have 2 hands.
Dun, dun, dun. Randy Verschuren, Part 7. If this is my personal hell, then it's off to a good start. Because if there's anything I hate, it's walking. Is this the character speaking or is this Randy speaking?
Yeah.
I don't know. And walking is what I'm doing. Through the soft sand of the beach, struggling and feeling the sand running into my shoes. My favorite shoes. I never take them outside. $500 shoes full of beach sand. That's just great. As I start to get farther away from the water, the beach ends, and a great green patch of grass leads straight into a forest with trees as big as skyscrapers. I've never seen woods like these. Where the hell am I? I look left, where I can see the forest going into a massive mountain with a snowy top. To the right, all I see is more trees going on forever and ever. Is it horrible that all I can think about right now is Far Cry Arcade? It's like, I could build this.
Too much.
I could build this.
I could build this.
Alaska. I must be in Alaska. The thought had not left my mind when I started hearing something getting closer. Running in my direction from the forest, I hear twigs breaking and panting. Bears? There are big fucking bears in Alaska! But I couldn't move. I froze like a summer popsicle on a stick. I hear it getting closer, panting, getting louder. I start seeing the bushes and trees moving. It's almost here. Dead by bear. How typically not typical of me. There it is, jumping through the bushes, running as fast as its legs could carry it. It's big and quite fast for its size, weaving brown hair, about 5 feet tall, running on its back legs, wearing farmer's clothes. This is a person. A scared person. A very scared person. He doesn't pay me much attention as he runs past me as fast as he can. This can't be good. Even more afraid than before I slowly turn my face back to the forest where the guy just came out. I can still hear something getting closer, but now it's not just twigs breaking. Now I can hear and see those big skyscraper trees breaking and bending like twigs. Whatever this thing is, it's big and strong. I start seeing a shadow getting bigger and bigger, and I still can't move. It feels like the sand in my shoes has become concrete.
Whoa. That chapter was much longer than the previous 5.
It was.
Or 6 or whatever.
What if it's the rock biter?
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Comes up with a bike. Hey.
God, that movie's weird.
Ibrahim Sozer says, Hi!
Hi!
Anthony Russo, this is my first community comments post because I recently got a job in my field and decided to up my pledge.
Nice.
Well done.
Thank you.
That said, all the allies... all the Allies content has gotten me through a lot of these past 2 years, through a lot in these past 2 years, and I'm glad to be able to support more. Thank you for all you guys do. Super pumped for God of War in April. I've gotten through most of my backlog, but have stopped myself from playing anything new so that I don't feel bad when God of War comes out. For those curious, my backlog consists of Dishonored 2, Death of the Outsider DLC, and The Witcher 3, Blood and Wine DLC. This month I played Dishonored 2 and Shadow of the Colossus for the first time, and wow, were both those games amazing. Hope everyone else had a great March. How was your March, Ian?
Good. Real good. March was nuts.
Woo!
March was really crazy. I'm yawning because I'm tired. I'm not bored.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Brandon. For the
Hi.
past 2 months, I've been playing a little-known game called Monster Hunter World. I absolutely love it. My 200 hours with it should prove enough. At some point into my adventure, I decided I was going to focus on obtaining as many trophies as I can, and maybe one day I will score that platinum. I'm a bit of a trophy and achievement hunter. Once I find a game I like, I try to nab all the trophies. I'm currently at 16 platinums and 21 Xbox games at 1000 gamer score. I rarely ever feel as alive as I do right before obtaining that final trophy or achievement. So I'm playing Monster Hunter one night and I'm farming for Nergigante horns?
Yeah. They say,
To level up my dual blades.
there are like 8 different ways to pronounce that.
However, I always go for the hard G. I
How
like
they say it in
like me a hard G.
That's how they say it in the game.
I like it hard G.
They say like Nergigante.
Knowing I was about to obtain the Power is Everything trophy for obtaining 5 highly rare weapons, I was feeling the rush of excitement when I obtained the final horn I needed to get my dual blades to Rarity 8. I ran down to the smithy and updated my dual blades, waited the 3 seconds for the trophy to unlock, but sadly it did not. I looked at my inventory, I saw I had 5 different weapons at Rarity 8. I immediately went back to the previous save and tried again, and again, it did not unlock. And then I went to a full research mode, searching every corner of the internet, never to find an answer. Not a single person out there has seemed to have this problem other than me. No trophy glitches at all. I feel defeated and depressed by this. I hope this has a happy ending. My days
Yeah,
with
I'm
Monster
like, oh,
Hunter
no.
have felt a bit shallow and empty. I've now obtained 8 different weapons at Rarity 8 and no trophy. My trophy percentage is at 61% for this game with only 8 trophies left to unlock. To most, trophies may not be a big deal, but to me, it is important. My platinums and 1,000 achievements tell a story of who I am in the games that represent me most. I am not a 61% Monster Hunter. I am a 62% Monster Hunter, and the world should know.
Good luck getting those crowns for that one.
For what?
There's a trophy in Monster Hunter where you have to get most of the crowns for most of the monsters, and the crowns are you fought the biggest version of this and the smallest version. There's a grand crown and a small crown. You need each for most of the monsters, but it's random.
What?
So you can farm.
Oh no!
You can farm a monster like for hours.
I was
and
gonna
not
say,
get
the second you start
crown.
talking about achievements, it's like for an online game. I bet that sucks. I bet
Monster
the Destiny
Hunter is like-
achievements are balls.
Monster Hunter is
can't-
notoriously difficult to platinum.
Ugh.
I've heard of like one person who's done it in our community.
Well, we'll see if Mike can pull it off.
But
It
we
might-
see you.
it might-
62%. We
Yeah.
see you.
It might be something he just wakes up and ding. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, oh. Or maybe it's like only certain weapons? I don't know. It's weird.
Bearded Scotsman 86. Normally I use this time to go over every game I have played and leave it there. For this post I want to focus on something different. That is, the amazing feature in Super Mario Odyssey that is Assist Mode. My son is 4, almost 5 years old. I thought Mario would be a bit too tricky for him on his own. Assist Mode changed that though. It adds an arrow above your head so you know where the objective is. Also, a trail of arrows on the ground to follow. It ups the 3 hearts to 6. Also, if you stop moving for a bit, then you recover any lost health. Falling off an edge will put a bubble around you and pull you back up. With all these features, he's able to play and enjoy the game. He has needed help with boss battles, but for the most part, he has played through by himself. He's got as far as unlocking Dark Side of the Moon around 250 moons. He has since started a new profile to play again and is defeating bosses that caused him trouble at first. I've tried both NES and SNES games with him before, but all of them seem too hard. This is the first big game that he has just clicked into playing. Assist mode has a lot to do with that, and is something I could see benefiting more games that are age-appropriate for kids. Final notes, Ian and Noah rocked at the concert, a true highlight. Also yesterday, I had a song stuck in my head, and when I worked out what it was Jones singing the song for Persona 5. Nice. I haven't played Persona 5, so that was unexpected. Bearded Scotsman 86, formerly Corn Fan 2007.
Right. Dude, that's awesome. I didn't know that about assist mode.
Dude, what did you start and close with? What's the actual name of the song? Infinity
You plus
or?
me equals eternity.
Equals eternity?
Was at the beginning and toward
Right.
the end, and then Better with Friends was at the end.
Amanda and I've had that damn song stuck in our head since the concert.
Really?
Yeah. I'll just like yeah.
Good job,
Simply the
Ash.
harmonies just right at the top were just it clicked. But it's like I'll just be doing something. I'll hear Amanda in the bathroom brushing her teeth like.
Yeah, Noah like crushed it. It was perfect.
Crushed it! Small Leviathan. Hello, allies! Not much was happening for me in March, as my financial situation prevented me from getting any new games. Not that there was a lot of new stuff I was interested in to begin with. Take that, March. As such, I'll be spending the showcase talking about some of the stuff I've been looking forward to over the past month. Starting with something that dropped right at the end of last month's showcase, the Nintendo Direct. Looking past the madness that was Solaire Amiibos, Amiibo, technically, and the announcement of a new Smash game, I am just bursting with excitement over all the Splatoon 2 content. A massive free update with tons of gear, big changes to ranked, and who knows what more, topped off with a big story-focused single-player expansion that will finally allow us to play as Octolings after 3 years of waiting. Nintendo couldn't have made me happier if they tried. And I was all critical of that trailer. Moving on, if you recall the last showcase, I touched upon Hive Swap Act 2. And the way the developers have been teasing the fans by gradually revealing characters that were going to appear in the upcoming second part of their Interstellar point-and-click adventure. Interstellar point-and-click adventure.
How have I never heard of this game?
Yeah, we put that in quotes.
Hive Swarm?
Hive Swap Act 2.
Swap Act 2, okay.
As of March 14th, the so-called Troll Call officially ended, with the last characters filling in the 2 remaining silhouettes on their site. From the handsome Lank Bombix to the eccentric Vicair Ratit, to the downright terrifying Chahoot Maynard. It looks like it's looking like we'll be meeting quite the diverse cast for the teenage wasteland of a planet that is Alternia. That said, my favorite of the bunch has to be Sarava Hermod, a non-binary vaporwave enthusiast. Should I have introduced you as that?
So yeah, sounds like my kind of person right there.
Non-binary vaporwave enthusiast. Like
the dream.
Honestly though, you got to dial back on those vapor waves.
I love them. I just love it.
I can smell it on you.
Yeah.
Despite the troll call ending, there was no release date announcement, which makes me look towards the 13th of April, the 9th anniversary of the webcomic that Hive Swap is based on. So there's the deep end of an Olympic-sized swimming pool of awesomeness that that neither one of us are caught up on. Lastly, on March 27th, it had been a year since the release of the Solstice Update, a story expansion that took the game I had already adored one shot and made it my all-time favorite video game. As such, I've been trying to find the time to replay the game together with my mom. Considering that she is not very video game savvy, I'm excited to see how she'll wrap her head around the twists and turns that this game pulls in its story. Love and respect, Small Leviathan. I have a mixed emotions every time somebody in the comments brings up something that I'm not familiar with at all, because I love that, I love experiencing something through their excitement, but then I feel bad where I'm like, I should be checking this stuff out.
When
someone says something is their favorite game of all time,
and I've never heard of it, I'm like, whoa, sweet.
Matthew Pauling, hi allies, what a wild 2 years it's been. Agreed.
True.
Time sure flies, and I've never made use of Community Showcase, so here it goes.
Timeshare flies.
Thank you, allies. My now over $1,000 investment has paid off as enjoyment shares are up 241%.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It is pretty crazy. Go back and just add up everything that all the pennies that you've dropped into the allies bucket.
Unless that would scare you, then don't do that.
Don't. It's like checking hours you played an MMO.
Just ignore that.
I remember when I checked Final Fantasy XI and I'd played for a month.
Yeah.
Like a real-time month of my life. Ian is a wonderful soul that rules.
Hey.
Capital R.
Thanks.
Rules.
Oh.
Jones is 5-star talent. Blood is as sleek as an F1.
Yeah.
He's pretty sleek.
He's very sleek.
Brad is so cool he freezes water. Yeah. Huber is warp speed hype. Don is the Godfather! Exclamation point. No one else got an exclamation point, only Don. You mess with the allies and you wake up with a plastic arcade horse head in your bed. Ben's hot takes are so hot I blame him for global warming. Kyle needs to be chained up and make the world's first 20 out of 10 video game. Box Peak, the video game. And finally, all hail the Salad Troll King. Evil wins again. Name does not even need
You don't even need it.
Yeah. Don't even need it.
I like how you're circling and underlining things.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm happy about it. Well, because in case there's an exclamation point later, I can reference the first one.
Sure.
It gives the impression I'm doing homework or something. Like I'm going to check these later. Caesar Villa. Hello, allies. Now that I've beat Odyssey, I wanted to make a long review-like post talking about everything good about the game. But after realizing that there's nothing I can say that hasn't been said already, I'll just say, go play it. It's great. And now, the main topic of this post. The concert. Wow, what a ride. As usual, I was not able to attend or even watch the stream live, but I watched it in the YouTube archive, and man, what a fun and surprising show it was. It is no secret that Box Peak was the most anticipated part of the event, and I have to say, it really got me invested, since I didn't even realize you guys, Ian and Brandon, were part of the episode until I watched the credits.
We did it! Voice acting!
Good job, you two. Well, I found out every bit of the show very entertaining, and I was very surprised of Noah's voice in your music segment. I gotta say, the thing that pleased me and surprised me the most was the busted trifecta by one Don Casanova. Back in January, I remembered how February 2017 was Don's month, with a new episode of Discount Gaming at the end of every group stream, and a final Don's Design Lab. Yeah. And I was wondering if this year we would get a similar treatment from him. February came and went with no Don news, so I just thought he didn't have the time this year, and let go of the idea of a new Don show for the year. The trifecta had this Don magic that is hard to explain, but easy to grasp. We work with the guy. We can't explain it.
We can't
put words to it.
I'm not sure I grasp it either.
I loved that he involved all of you guys in different parts, and while I have absolutely no idea how horse racing works or what the heck a furlong is, other than the protagonist of Terminator 2, I couldn't be more hyped for May to come. Love and respect, allies, and happy second anniversary, Caesar. You wait till you see Damiani is all I can say. Like when I saw Damiani shooting stuff
Hillary
for busted
Getty.
trifecta.
So good.
Woo! Like he's like my nemesis. Like,
oh God. My
really
stuff,
good.
We haven't even shot my stuff yet.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Stephen Beaumont, quick recap of my March. Appointed store manager. GameSpot. GameSpot. New Kirby. Happy. I'm guessing he's happy with the new Kirby. I don't know if that's a game that I'm not aware of. Mega Man Collection 1 and 2. I suck. Delete. Read Harry Potter 1 to my son. Bought PS1 game. Terrible, LOL. Oh, the Harry Potter game. Jack and Daxter. Spite Platinum.
I love a good Spite Platinum.
Doom on Switch. I am bad at shooters. Now for the main discussion. Metroidvania and the art of progression.
Hey-o.
This contains spoilers for Axiom Verge and Owlboy. Alright. The thing that we'll wave when the spoilers are over if you want to bail. The thing that draws me most to the Metroidvania genre is the exploration and the feeling of growth as you go on your adventure and you become more powerful. Secrets and new weapons abound in the brilliant versions of these games, so you can imagine my joy at finally picking up Axiom Verge on Switch and finding all this with more and more waiting for me. This game has it all. Gorgeous pixel art, a slew of weapons, varied boss fights, precise controls, and oh so many secrets. My favorite thing about this game was finishing it, looking up online if I missed anything, and finding out there was a secret glitch language hiding a heap of secrets, and that you should glitch gun everything. Final score? 8.
For which one?
For Axiom Verge.
Axiom Verge.
High from that experience, I raced to Owlboy. Pixel art to die for pretty cool Paper Mario-esque buddy system, but then... Oh, to die for, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pixel art to die for. Pretty cool Paper Mario-esque buddy system. But then, nothing. I feel like this game lacks meaningful progression. You save coins to buy small health upgrades, followed by a hat, rinse, repeat. After 3 or 4 boss fights, and the only upgrades are new buddies, however, the controls are quite complex for a Metroidvania and don't feel very natural. I reached a locked room with a bunch of tiny flies, and that is where Owlboy remains. There was no clear way to escape the room. Current score, 7.4. Lastly,
still pretty good.
I've journeyed back to Kaer Morhen in search of answers. I played about 150 hours of The Witcher 3 a couple years ago, and while I like it, I was burnt out by the meaningless question marks and how the game doles out progression. I didn't have a history with the series, and I found myself skipping all the cutscenes, hoping for some meaty gameplay. Fast forward to Easy A, and I found out that the game is all about story, so I'm giving it a second chance on a new save, taking it slow and not skipping cutscenes. I've also started to read The Last Wish, the first Witcher book. Until next time. Spoilers over!
Spoilers.
Spoilers!
I like it when the first thing in a series is called, like, the final whatever, or the last whatever. What did I read? There's... Mistborn, I think, is the first book, is the Final Empire.
Nice.
And I'm always like, but it's the first one. There are 2 more after that, you know?
The Last Jedi is the second to last Star Wars film.
Yeah. It won't be the second to last.
Of the, whatever that series.
Yeah. there are hundreds more to come.
Alexander, it'd be really interesting to see if I live to see, like, Rey get old. You know, like
Yeah.
old Rey. Like, Rey, I'm Rey, I'm in episode 10.
And they call her Rhea. Like Leia.
Yeah. They would do that, wouldn't they?
They would.
Alexander Zirianov. This is not a second part of my experiment about trying... Oh, no, sorry, this is. I don't know where not came from. This is a second part of my experiment about trying to play acclaimed games that I think I will not like. This might hurt a little bit. I'm just prepping you. Last month, I've explained what bothers me in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey. Now I finished both games, and here are my impressions. This is my first Zelda game, and I didn't enjoy playing it.
Okay.
Combat isn't fun, especially after Horizon Zero Dawn. The world feels empty because foliage is sparse, details are few, and there are no activity icons on the map. Traveling is painful, since climbing is slow, and there's no telling if you can cross the river without drowning. And you can't summon your horse after fast travel. I never used a horse in that game.
Yeah, pretty much.
And fast travel animations take 10 seconds of your time for no apparent reason. Moving throughout this world was so boring and slow for me that I quickly decided to abandon any explorations and just do the main quest and nearby shrines. Turns out, you can't simply play the main quest, because the game doesn't tell you essential stuff like how to survive in hot weather. That was a tricky one. When I got to the volcano, that definitely slowed down the playthrough for me. I guess you can learn that during exploration, but since I had no desire to explore, I had to spend hours doing Google research. This is not how I want to play games, because it breaks my immersion and prevents me from caring. This game puts all chips on players' desire to live in Hyrule, and if you don't have it, everything falls apart. Next one is Mario, which is an interesting case. I wasn't tired of playing the same level to gather the required amount of moons, so my biggest fear didn't come true. But none of the worlds stood out for me. I even had trouble remembering their theme on the next day. Possessing different creatures should be special, but it felt like just another game mechanic. Story isn't bad, but nothing to remember. I like the ending song, though. In the end, I barely had any emotions with this game. I've enjoyed very similar games, for example, Tearaway, and have no real arguments against this one. Maybe Mario is simply not my thing.
I like Tearaway.
My little experiment proved to me that my own feelings towards games are way more important than hype, praises, and even personal recommendations. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Which is it's what frustrates me when people put so much stake on reviews. There's like,
Yeah.
I need that review to know whether I am gonna like this RTS like I liked those other 500 RTSs.
Yeah.
It's like you probably will.
I mean, unless the reviewer has historically had like
Right.
the same opinions as you, yeah, it's
Video game is an art, so no matter how great it is, some players will not be moved. Sorry, Ian, for sharp opinions about your favorite games. This was written back in January, way before I knew it will be you.
Did he mention Symphony of the Night in there?
Well, you liked Zelda and the Mario. Yeah. It's like, the next game I'm going to play, Mario. Yeah, Mario plus Rabbids. And Symphony of the Night. Jason A. Sackle. I ended up passing...
We need to hang on a minute.
Oh, okay.
We just
talk
need
about-
to breathe a little
talk
after
about
that.
Zelda. Yeah, just let that in.
What I love about that is that I played Horizon Zero Dawn for like an hour and a half, and I was like, nope, you know, and it's just like different strokes, you know.
I think my favorite bit was, I don't know if that river's gonna kill me or not.
Yeah, I'm like,
well,
you don't swim it.
You typically don't.
You always die, and you're gonna drown.
But I think it's that, that there's uncertainty there, but obviously like that fear at the same time is kind of what makes that game electric for me. You know, that you see a mountain and it's like, can I climb that? And I can see being like, it's frustrating that I don't know, that I can't just tell right away. But for me, it's like, I'm gonna try it. You know?
Yeah. But I just love that. That's the tapestry of humanity, man.
It's fascinating because for me being an open world addict, the things he's saying that he just has no idea I'm participating in because he wants to do the story are the things I do before I even get to the story.
Yeah.
The first thing I did in Zelda is it did every single tower. Like I just went, I saw it, I'm going.
You love those towers. I loved that joke in Far Cry 5. Where
at
the beginning when he's like, I know what you're thinking.
It's pretty early in the beginning. You climb one tower and he's like, no, I'm not gonna make you do this.
I'm not gonna make you climb towers all over the county. And I was like, Jones.
I'm glad you at least got to play that much of the campaign.
Yeah.
Jason A. Sackle. I ended up passing on Sea of Thieves. I've always been a fan of anything pirate related. Gasparilla is one of my favorite times of the year. Gasparilla? I know what sarsaparilla is. I wonder what Gasparilla is.
Yeah, I don't know.
They drink root beer and drive buggies around? I wonder.
Gasping a lot?
Yeah. Pirates. Unfortunately, everything I saw just never seemed that enticing. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like a lot of doing this, do that.
You're not wrong.
Bring this from point A to B. Directions. Being a pirate is about freedom, adventure, and having a good time. That just seems to be non-existent. I think one of the major things that's missing from Sea of Thieves is like a safe zone where like guns don't work. Like the second you get off the island, your weapons don't work. And it's just like it's like Tortuga, It's like, this is where all the pirates hang out, So there's like a place where you could go, like the tower in Destiny. It's like, there's just no...
The reason I disagree with that is because I like some of the most fearful moments are when you're running into town with the chest and you're like, I hope nobody kills me before I do it.
Yeah, maybe you can't turn it in there. Like, the only thing that's there is just to meet people, and maybe you can...
Apparently Gasparilla, Bloodworth informs.
Nice.
It's a party like Mardi Gras in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Oh, neat. Oh, of course, he's got the Florida knowledge.
Yeah.
I love it. Because you also get the sense of that blood resentment where he's like, come on, guys, Gasparilla, come on. You don't know what Gasparilla is, please.
I wonder if he wrote this, like, before the other shoe dropped with Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. I also played Rime. What utter rubbish that game is.
The frame rate is trash.
Eventually, a trophy popped up called Unbearable. I thought, yep, that's an appropriate word for it. Then Jason doesn't wear gloves. He doesn't.
Yeah,
his fingers are pointy diamond-shaped,
yeah.
blood-soaked appendages. Then wondered why I haven't fully given up on it yet. Laziness? Hope? It was then that I shut it off. Maybe I'll go back to it. I tend to not let first impressions sway me. If I did, I would have never given Monster Hunter World a second chance.
Hey.
I went from completely disliking that game to seeing potential to having fun and even getting the platinum for it.
Whoa! Take notes, Mike Hook.
Whoa. Whoa. I'm still playing it as well. Crown events and a good group of people to play make crown hunting fun. There's also that feeling of progression. Even if you don't get that small or large crown, you still get parts to make weapons and or armor level up, etc. I also played some games with more of my non-gamer friends. First up was That's You! Everyone had a lot of fun with it. We enjoy mocking and ridiculing each other. Oh, we enjoy the mocking and ridiculing of each other aspect of it, as we know it's all in good fun. Next, I popped their VR cherry. For my friend who likes puzzles, I let them have a go at Static. I figured that it was a good one because it's all about discovering what buttons do to solve puzzles as they weren't familiar with the controller. Neat. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah.
Or I probably saw it on a list and just went right past it. For my friends who seemed like they would scare easy Until Dawn Rush of Blood, which I haven't done, I probably should. Why? Because Snapchat demands it, damn it. The results did not disappoint. I also treated them to Moss because that game is adorable and the environments are just incredible to look at in VR. We also tried a few rounds of Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. After the consumption of many fermented beverages, our success rate wouldn't surprise anyone. Everyone had a blast.
A blast.
I got to try. See, that's why we have co-pilots here for the Community Showcase. Because I would miss stuff like
right
that.
by that.
Yep.
Explosive
I
content.
gotta play Moss. I wonder if Moss will ever come to something else. I wonder if any PSVR exclusive stuff will ever float out.
I don't know.
Jordan Kirk, congratulations again on 2 years, Brandon, Ian, and the other allies. This month, a beautiful thing happened. A JRPG gripped me that like one hasn't since Final Fantasy X. Even down to the not minding replaying hours of content due to a frustrating game over out of nowhere. The art style of this game captured me immediately, right from the intro cutscene to its fun battle setup and transitions. To even just walking around the city. Most of the musical score hit just the right beats. I enjoyed it so much, I ended up adding several songs to my driving playlist. And the story, phew! Tackling some real-life, potentially relatable and dark issues in a compelling way. All in all, my month-long, literally March 1st to March 30th, roughly 116-hour-long playthrough was worth the slightly less of a life and multiple accidental 3 a.m. sessions. And the game is?
I thought it was Ni no Kuni, but March 1st is too early.
116 hours, come on.
Oh. Persona?
Persona 5.
Yeah.
Persona 5 Phantom Thieves, you have stolen my heart. Nice.
Nice.
I thought Persona 5 comments were going to be gone from the showcase by March, but nay.
When a game's 120 hours long.
Yeah. Let's see how many Monster Hunter World Platinums we have next month.
Yeah.
Joseph Caruso, it was great meeting both of you at the concert. Mutual. I was tempted to share another Hotline Miami music mashup, but I'm having self-doubts about its quality and use of synths. So I instead like to briefly talk about what I believe makes a good villain. Cool. You're antagonizing people with your synth love. People are scared to synth for you.
I love synths. Any synth is a good synth.
From what I've heard and read from countless others, it sounds like the consensus is that the best villains are those with complicated motivations, flawed individuals that are misunderstood, or themselves misunderstand the world, and try to do what they believe is the right thing, regardless of their means. I'd say the means are important.
Yeah.
While I certainly appreciate characters with shades of gray, I don't find most sympathetic villains to be threatening. To me, nothing is more intimidating and horrifying than a villain that can put on a perfect face and pretend to be good, because that means they clearly know the difference between right and wrong, but they just straight up choose to be selfish and evil. They know how to exploit the good in people, and once their true nature is revealed, the heroes cannot attempt to communicate to their rationality or humanity. My favorite example of this type of villain from a video game is, incoming BioShock spoilers, spoilers, Fontaine. Fontaine's persona, Atlas, isn't just a good person, he's flawed, and so very realistic, which makes it all the more disturbing that he's the concoction of a monster that knows what a good human being should be, and he just chooses to do the complete opposite. My favorite example of this from a movie is probably from Get Out. My head and heart still hurt whenever I rewatch that movie and observe the behavior and language of the villains when they're acting all too realistically like good human beings. Perhaps movies like Zodiac are the most disturbing. It looks like we're out of BioShock. Spoilers. Perhaps movies like Zodiac are the most disturbing because that villain was a real person and had the capacity to act helpful and even rational, but their only intent was to cause pain and fear. Rewatched, because I think it's on Netflix now, rewatched Zodiac. Oh, so good.
It's an intense
First time
movie.
I saw Zodiac, I was like, I felt like it was 8 hours long.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
how long
yeah.
is this movie?
Yeah.
It ends like 8 times. But then when I watched it again, I was kind of prepped for that, and specifically the resolution when you like encounter the villain is such a good scene. Really, really good scene.
Is that when he's like, not a lot of people have basements in Los Angeles?
No, it's when he's in the store. Like it's basically like,
I gotta rewatch.
It's tough to get closure from Zodiac.
Yeah,
and so like
there is none.
They never outright tell you what's going on because we never really knew.
Yeah.
Like we didn't like
No one knows.
know. Like it's kind of like Jack the Ripper. It's like we think it's this person, but we really don't know. So they kind of leave it up to you to be like, yeah, I don't like that guy. I think it's him. Suffice to say, I love Bioshock and Get Out very much, and movies like Zodiac are the only ones that keep me up at night. On a lighter note, the release that I've most been anticipating all year has arrived, and it actually wasn't a video game, but rather the 4K Blu-rays of BBC Nature's Blue Planet 2.
Nice.
I don't think I've seen either Blue Planet.
All that stuff is great.
Curious. What's a good villain?
I was just going to say my favorite villains are the ones where you're watching it, and it happens most in movies, I think, or shows. You're watching it and you go, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I mean, like the Joker says, like, one bad day, you know, but it's like, I mean, great examples are Black Panther and Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2, where it's like, you're like, yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. Like, you make sense. Like, you're not wrong. Like, a good villain is when you're like, you're not wrong. Like, you're going about it in a bad way, but you're right, you know? That's my favorite kind of...
My least favorite villain that just jumps into my head every time is Eric Bana from the Star Trek reboot.
Oh, yeah.
Because I hate villains that are, like, wrong. Like he's
it's
wrong.
It's just mistake.
Like, the thing he's mad about is not true.
Is a mistake,
yeah, you just do some research
It's
about
like,
it.
yeah, someone could just be like, yeah, no, that wasn't Spock, dude.
Hi, I'm Nero. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Hi. I kind of liked that line because it was just, like, weird. He doesn't look like himself in that movie. It's crazy.
Bana's not great. There's only, like, one or two movies I like Bana in. I just watched The Time Traveler's Wife. Did you ever see that?
No.
Really good book. Really good, all you Twilight fans, that's a good literature romance, darn it. But it's a really neat, it's like love never dies, love through time, love above all.
So lies.
And it reminded me how much, how much I loved that book. But like, he's just, like, Amanda just came in and she was like, Eric Bana's not a great actor. And I'm like, right? I don't know what it is. Nothing wrong against the guy.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana.
Sebastian Hall, just because I want to submit something to the showcase, just because I always want to submit something to the showcase, but never actually get around to actually doing it, I will when the time is right, I promise. I just want to get something off my chest. I love EZA and I love the community. Being part of it for all to, like, you think the shoe's going to drop, but it's not.
I was like, where's the butt?
No. Being part of it for the 2 years, being part of it all for the 2 years has been such a great time. When I feel sad, down, or just lonely, I can always put on a random EZA video or pop into chat for a while. I've been part of many communities throughout the years, but this is the first that are really keeping me around and always make me feel so welcome. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for being part of it, no matter how big or small. Also, since Ian is here, thank you for being super cool, and your endless film tips, discussions have led me into a whole bunch of gems I otherwise would have missed. Love and respect, Lotiaz.
Thank you. Emotional.
Robert I. After Mortal Kombat XL introduced a second season pass that I needed to buy, I decided to wait until all the all-inclusive re-release of Injustice 2 came out before purchasing it. This month was finally my time, as the Legendary Edition has come out. And I'm glad I waited, as Injustice 2 had 3 fighter packs come out after release. I'm glad to get everything in one edition of the game. Surprisingly, I never got around to watching the story on YouTube, which IGN posted at the game's release. I like the little dig there. I'm currently enjoying my way through that. I have to add that NetherRealm has really come a long way with their story modes between Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe and Injustice 2. Definitely. And the story in Injustice 2 is really great. I hope they continue to raise the bar for themselves with each game they put out. It's going to be interesting to see. It's like, is there going to Justice 3? Like, how far are they going to take their DC
also,
relationship?
2 season passes for one game? That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's what they call them, season passes, not everything passes. Ugh.
Mikael Herval Nemo. Hey, Brand, Ian.
Oh!
Like that? Easy Allies means the world to me. I'm 19. I suffer from depression and heavy anxiety, so much that I can't attend school. I can't even dream of getting a job right now. Public spaces are challenging, and I can't socialize with anyone that I'm not intimately familiar with. The only thing really going on is my treatment. Right now, my life consists of 80% video games and Easy Allies. Woof! It's a lot of Easy Allies. You 9 people bring me so much joy every single day. Every single crappy day for the past 2 years of my life, through the grind of therapy, you guys have been there for me. Mwah! I have had a lot of days where I didn't feel like living anymore, but then a 7-hour podcast about video games from you guys would emerge. 7 hours, I hope not, and I would feel better about life. Right now,
getting there.
I don't have a lot to look forward to in my life, but waiting for it and getting hyped for E3 with you guys gives me something to cling to, which is as important to me as therapy. Ian, you personally got me to play The Witness, The Talos Principle, Symphony of the Night, Bound, and Dragon's Dogma. All games that I love, all games that provided me with an escape from this nightmare realm of horror that we live in. Not only that, you're not giving a damn attitude about what others think, reminds me of how pointless my anxiety is, which is a very good thing, and gives me fighting spirit. Hopefully gives them fighting spirit that you do care what people think. You know, we all do. It happens.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay to have those feelings because it's very difficult not to.
I had real bad depression when I was that age too.
And I meditate every day. I didn't get a chance to meditate before this community showcase, so I'm freaking out, man.
I can tell you're a little on edge.
But every cup of well, I'm in an hour and 9 minutes. Blood wants to stream some Super Metroid, so I want to hustle through this. But yeah, I need to calm down. I had an interesting moment the other night actually because Huber was streaming all day, so I couldn't get in here, and they were using the laptop for chat, and so like I was like in the house. So I'm like, I guess I'll run some errands or do something, and I was just like just bottled up all day, and then I finally got in here, and I'm like, okay, I gotta work on the showcase, I gotta do other stuff, and Amanda came in, like my butt hit the seat right as Amanda came out. So like I was like, okay, bye Huber, bye Brad. And they're like, all right. And then like turn all the lights off, turn on the PS4, and then like the moment my butt hit the seat, Amanda like came in like, hi, and I'm like, leave me alone. It's like I just need like 30 minutes to myself. And I remembered that when I was at Game Trailers, I needed a full 60 minutes to just decompress after the day. I would come home and be like, she's like, whoa, all right. She'd be like making dinner or doing something. I'm like, I would just sit down, and it took at least an hour for me to like actually start enjoying myself. Because that's the worst, when somebody comes up to you and they're like kind of playful, and you're like, I'm not in the mood. Brandon, you got me to play Resident Evil 4. Yes. Red Dead. Yes. And Witcher 3. Yes. Some of my favorites of all time. You are also, along with Kyle, extremely good for me when I have long-lasting anxiety that I can't get rid of. You also got me into the Beatles, which has helped me immensely during anxiety attacks. It takes a lot out of me to write and post this, but it's worth it just to say thank you. I sincerely believe I would be in a much worse place today had it not been for you 9 superstars. I truly love you guys. Keep being the best group of people on the planet. P.S. I'm sorry for writing kind of a downer comment, but I wanted to thank you two personally for being one of my only sources of pure joy and happiness in my life. Love and respect. I'm in a good mood after that.
That's not.
I'm feeling good about
that's
that.
That's not a downer. You're not.
You make us feel good, and it sounds like we make you feel good. I recommend, if you're into the Beatles, get into John Lennon, stuff that he wrote and interviews that he's had. He was very much about being chill, man. It's all good. I'm sure he never said that. Michelle Jackson, I've been working on a story for about 9 years now. Its plot and characters have changed almost completely, but its title and core identity have always remained the same. The story has been one of the only constants in my life through times of turmoil and change, so it's kind of become a part of me. Towards the end of high school, I realized the story would make a better game than book. When it came time to pick my path of study for college, I decided to abandon my lifelong dream of being a fashion designer and major in game dev.
Whoa.
Woo! You can still design fashions in game dev, definitely. This March, living games, baby. They need it. They need those fashions.
What's the Kingdom Hearts guy? He was like
Tetsuya Nomura.
Yeah, he was like, they were like posting on like, okay, we have all the costumes done.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna start the game. Yeah. It's big in games.
It's like you come in the next workday and you go to a character and he's got like 2 more belts around his chest. Yeah. You're like, what are these more belts?
You're adding belts overnight.
I added some more belts. This March, I finally started making that game. I always told myself that I would wait until I had an actual job as a game designer to make the game I dreamed of. But I've also come to realize that there's no guarantee any company will ever want to develop or publish my game. And if I want to make my dream a reality, I have to do it myself. Good on you, Michelle. I'm using RPG Maker MV because I can afford it.
Hey.
And I've been told it's a good tool for beginners. I've never made sprites or animations before, so my sprites look super jank. Creating tile sets is easier, if a bit tedious, but at least one good thing about dedicating most of your life to fashion design is that making character portraits is pretty much second nature. My biggest problem right now is programming. Most of my gameplay mechanic ideas are going to require a lot of new code. Unfortunately for me, MV uses JavaScript, a language I don't know, and isn't being taught in any of my classes. So now I have to teach myself JavaScript, because the universe thinks I need a challenge, and letting me use something like Java or Python would be too easy. Thankfully, the RPG Maker community has a ton of resources that have been really helpful. The universe always thinks you need a challenge. The universe is never, ever going to slow down with throwing challenges at you. Right now, I'm just trying to lock down a consistent art style and work on a scale of objects so the characters aren't the same height as desks. Hopefully, I'll have enough done to share some pictures of my progress next month. Oh, I'm so excited, Michelle. Oh, if we get to share this journey with you, oh, that'll be great. I tried to learn code at one time. It was like, nah.
I was learning C++, but then now I'm working in
It wasn't
Unreal.
Unity. It was
Or
something.
C#?
I can't remember the name of it. I was trying to make a
Unreal
mobile
does it.
game. I still want to make this. I want to make a zombie survival game where you're managing a fort, and it's tied to your Facebook account. So like your friends show up. So like grandma will be like, "Can I join your fort?" And you're like, "Go away, grandma." Or just like, or you're like, "Okay, grandma, you're here. Take a shotgun. Go guard the garden."
That's much more complicated than you think. I think.
Oh no, of course. And then I was gonna have mini games too. So like, if they're like the zombies are approaching, there's a little mini game where you can like move people to different
Last night
areas.
after playtesting a board game I'm making, a friend of mine helped me fix some problems I was having in an Unreal prototype I'm making. It was an exciting evening.
Nice. You like to challenge you like the universe to challenge you, I think, sometimes. You seem like that person, like Amanda was at the concert, and she's like, Ian can play trumpet? It's like, you're that kind of person. You're just like, and this now. We're like, well.
The universe just does what it does, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta just make your own way.
I think John Lennon said that too.
Yeah.
P.S. Does Ian have any recommendations of music software for beginners? I was a singer for like 10 years, but to me, music theory might as well be nuclear physics.
Yeah, if theory's rough for you, Ableton is really good. You can do Ableton Lite that is either $100 or comes like free, or it might be cheaper than 100, but it comes like free with like an Akai keyboard or whatever. It limits your number of tracks. Reaper is okay.
Whoa.
I haven't used it that much, but it's only $60. Fruity Loops, now FL Studio, is more like hip hop, like DJ based.
It's not called Fruity Loops anymore.
No, they got away from that for whatever reason. But Ableton is what I use. I have Ableton 10 officially now, which feels good. It's like loop. You can make stuff based on loops or in arrangement mode. It's really good. There's a bit of a learning curve, but I like it a lot.
Tangent. I just watched last week tonight. The one he did about cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I watched
and he listed
that
a bunch of cryptocurrencies, and I love the deep onion joke.
Yeah.
He's like, some of these are real and some of them aren't. Just kidding, they're all real.
Yeah.
I wanted to try to make up dumb ones, but I cannot think of something dumber than deep onion. It just doesn't exist. Deep onion. Also, Michelle Jackson was as the people who post on really anything on Patreon, but especially the community showcase, live with the fear of the comment disappearing. And I think we were at like 55 out of 59 when I grabbed the last couple comments, so I think a couple might not have made it through. But Michelle Jackson was curious, rewrote that entire post that I just read for fear that the original was lost, but it was not. This was the original post. So just another disclaimer: if you're like, this showcase sounds like fun, I want to join next week, save your comment in a Word doc in case you need to repost.
I used to, I made all kinds of stuff when I was a kid in Fruity Loops.
Sounds delicious.
It was fun.
Carl Williams, I'm real glad that Ghibli Fest is back in theaters for 2018. Not only will I get to rewatch some of my faves like Porco Rosso. Porco Rosso? I've never heard of Porco Rosso.
It's good.
And Princess Mononoke.
Yep.
But I'll get to watch both The Cat Returns and Grave of the Fireflies for the first time.
Oh, God.
What?
Sorry, Grave of the Fireflies is the saddest thing that exists.
Oh my goodness. I have not seen that one.
Oh, man.
Already, my favorite is Howl's Moving Castle. Already got to rewatch Ponyo, which was great. Saw it years ago on video, so seeing it at a theater twice, subbed and dubbed, was quite the treat. This time around, I feel I was able to give full appreciation to the movie as opposed to seeing it just once and thinking, man, that was a pretty good Miyazaki movie. The movie was charming from start to finish, and the humor was so innocent you couldn't help but laugh. And of course, both the music and the animation are amazing. Even some of the animation where it starts to feel like it was art made by a child was pretty clever. Was a pretty clever use. After rewatching Ponyo, I think I can safely say it deserves a spot in my top 5 favorite Miyazaki films. As to where in my top 5? Well, that's definitely a tricky question. Secret best Miyazaki film, perhaps? In any case, I look forward to heading back to the theaters in the next couple of months for some Ghibli goodness. P.S. There really needs to be a Ghibli episode of Reaction Shots. Just saying.
That's a real good idea.
Not this month.
We'll see if we ever Have reaction shots again.
Dude, I'm gonna do a Patreon post later today. We missed the 40K mark by like $180.
Yeah.
But it was official. We missed it.
We can't do reaction shots this month, sadly. So that means that hopefully next month will be Wes Anderson.
Nice.
I'm pretty bummed about it.
It's gonna be okay.
But
It's gonna be alright.
it'll be alright.
Prototype J, 27 hours, 54 minutes, and 37 seconds I've spent on a game this month, and I've got the Platinum Trophy for it. It's been quite a while since I've played a game where I naturally just went with the flow and enjoyed every second of gameplay, discovering things along the way organically, and just having fun blowing stuff up. Far Cry 5's AI buddies are terrible, the story is bland, and there might be a glitch or two, but all of that is forgiven for just the sheer joy and big old smile I had on my face going crazy in this world. The freedom, no towers, no minimap, and no skinning for upgrades was a warm welcome and definitely improved the overall experience. And don't forget about the music. What I like most about Far Cry 5's music is it plays into the story. Songs like Rifle by Your Side, Help Me Faith, and Oh John are sung by the cultists and are very catchy. Rifle by Your Side and Oh John are featured in the Easy Allies review of Far Cry 5. The Faith song is really good. They're used as motivation for the cultists and to lure new believers in. And even though it's a shame about the co-op progress not being shared, there's still fun to be had. Please enjoy this.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to jump into someone else's game and help them. I think it might be. I don't know if it's like a technical limitation because Ghost Recon doesn't have that. Ghost Recon, you join the squad and you go through the missions. I wonder if it's because they just didn't think people were going to do that. They're like, yeah, people won't play the whole game through. They won't
together,
care.
Yeah.
But
that would be a real bummer if you and a friend played the whole thing and then at the end you were like, wait, I don't get any of that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I wonder if you get the achievements, but you wouldn't get...
Yeah,
like it wouldn't save that progress. Please enjoy this video of me and my friend punching a bison. We'll get to that. Oh, I guess I can switch to that now. Does the game have... I will get to that later. I'll show you that. Him punching a bison is very funny. Does the game have flaws? Yes. Is the story a bit too serious for its own good? In my opinion, most likely. Will you have a great time in Hope County? You bet your sweet ass you will. PJ.
I like that turn of phrase.
You bet your sweet
you
ass.
bet your sweet ass.
The only issue I had with the music is context means more to me story-wise than it probably should. I get myself in trouble a lot because I'm like concerned about those things, and it's like, just stop and enjoy the game. But like, I'd like to know that chorus because I'm assuming they're all like in the cult. You know, like I'm assuming they didn't like rent like the London Symphony Orchestra to like do the. I mean, they might have done that for the actual game recording.
Yeah.
But I would love to have like seen where they recorded that, or like I would love if like they were mentioned in a letter somewhere about like, hey, I just recorded all these songs. They sound really beautiful, like a note you found or something. But it was like they were just completely separate from the story, and that kind of bummed me out a little bit because they're so good.
Maybe there's like a secret bunker that they're just all singing at gunpoint constantly.
Or they're all just dead. After the moment they finish the recording, they just gun them all down.
Kill them all.
Tim Strothman. First, a short update. I ultimately failed the gaming challenge of my brothers. The rules are included on the bottom. Oh, by the way, it's worth mentioning, the community showcase is limited to $10 and above patrons for the submissions. Once this show starts, right before we started out, I made it public for everybody. So if you want to go read these submissions or check out these links for yourself, you can do that, patreon.com/easyallies. Look for the community showcase March submissions. He says, Brandon, I included the rules at the bottom. If Ian is interested, you can go check it out. I had no problem playing Borderlands 2 and Cave Story Plus. So he had a challenge with his brothers where they're like, you play these games. And he's like, all right, you play these games. Like, intentionally giving them games he knew they wouldn't like. I finished neither of them, but I only had to play 4 hours, which was certainly okay. However, I just could not force myself to play Eldritch for more than 2 hours. I do not want to trash too hard on the game. Let's just say that hardcore roguelikes are definitely not my cup of tea. I'm now waiting for my punishment, which means I have to complete a game of my brother's choosing with some restrictions. They cannot simply pick Skyrim for me.
I've played Eldritch.
Which I would definitely do. Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, but...
Did you play more than 2 hours?
Maybe, but it's roguelike, so usually I just play it for a little while and then stop.
On a more positive note, I cleared a game from my backlog that I specifically saved up for the birthday month of Easy Allies. The first game you ever reviewed.
Oh, gosh. I have no idea.
You don't know at all? Huber reviewed it. It's a game he was very excited for. Time manipulation. Third-person shooter.
Quantum Break?
Quantum Break.
Wow. That was our first review.
First review. I simply expected a good shooter with a decent story, but I was surprised in multiple facets. On the negative side, the shooting itself is a bit odd, especially if you play on PC. The aiming is not 100% precise, and if you stand too close to an enemy, hitting him is not as easy as it should be. This included the included TV show that puts other characters of the game in the spotlight sounds good on paper, but it ultimately messes up the pacing of the game. On the positive side, the story is amazing. The game is one of the few instances in media that gets time travel right, to the best of my knowledge. More importantly, the way the story unravels is well-paced, and even after finishing the game, I thought about the whole story arc for a few days. In addition, the time powers you gain are diverse and change the way you play the game if you master them. This is needed because the enemies are more clever than in other shooters. I'm not sure why Remedy went off my personal gaming radar after Alan Wake. If you look at the great games they released in their history, Max Payne 1 and 2, Alan Wake, and Quantum Break, it's funny, Alan Wake and Quantum Break.
Yeah, Alan Wake and Quantum Break.
Then their storytelling is up to par with games like Tomb Raider and Uncharted. I'm really looking forward to what they do next. Yeah, I didn't touch Quantum Break, but Alan Wake I really liked.
I liked everything in Alan Wake except the, combat.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I was kind of just like, I just want to do the story.
I remember the things when they would shake and fly at you really scared me at first, and then after a while it would just crack up and be like, oh no, the truck's wigging out.
Oh.
John Koenig. Hi, Brandon and Ian.
Hi.
This month, I was having a really difficult time deciding on what I should talk about. I recently began playing through the early games in the Dragon Quest series. Should I talk about these 30-year-old if these 30-year-old games hold up? Maybe I could talk about Monster Hunter World. Nothing was really standing out to me. And then I played Celeste.
Oh.
Celeste? Right now? No? Yeah.
What?
Have you played Celeste?
I haven't.
Without giving too much away, Celeste is a story about dealing with depression, framed with a Super Meat Boy-esque platformer. I'll start by saying that I have dealt with issues of self-doubt and anxiety for most of my life, and something I really appreciated about Celeste was in small moments involving the main character, Madeline. There is one near the beginning where she meets a fellow hiker who wants to celebrate their meeting with a picture, something Madeline is hesitant about because she thinks she looks bad in pictures. I had to stop playing for a bit because I was shocked, realizing it was word for word something I had said more than once. There were several other of these small moments highlighting some insecurity or doubt of Madeline's that would hit me pretty hard just because of how real and personal it felt. I was able to empathize with her in a way I don't think I ever have with any other character in a story, video game, or otherwise. And what I love is that, from what I can tell, these characters are very small. So it's neat that, all it takes is just good dialogue, and I'm attached to someone in a game. Another detail I love about Celeste is the loading screens displaying words of encouragement. These include... Far Cry 5 is the exact opposite. These include statements about how you shouldn't worry about getting every collectible, or be proud of your death count, because it means you're learning. This helps to create a feeling of being challenging, but also encouraging. Celeste will put you through some very difficult moments, both mechanically and emotionally, but at the same time it wants you to overcome these challenges. Playing through Celeste motivated me to begin moving forward with aspects of my own life that I had been avoiding.
Wow.
That's awesome. I hope that we see more games like Celeste that can create meaningful discussions about mental illness. Of course, Hellblade? Hellblade comes to mind, yeah. And maybe even inspire someone who is struggling to seek help and support. John, I think you've inspired other people. We've had people talk about depression and anxiety already, so that is definitely a common theme here in life. I was going to say at Easy Allies, but it's pretty much everywhere. I hope that we see... Since my post was kind of heavy, I'll leave with this. Before a hunt in Monster Hunter World, you can have a team of cat chefs make you a giant meal. It's fantastic.
It's true. It's phenomenal.
If you needed some help with anxiety, have some cats cook. God, I would love that. I would love if I walked in and Norbert was just like... I'm like, Norbert, this chili is delicious.
Norbert is his cat.
Hinck Grudendijk. Hello, Brandon and Ian.
Hi.
Happy 2-year anniversary and congratulations on the beautiful musical performances during the concert. Special shout-outs to Ian's lyrics. They are truly wonderful and definitely reach me.
Oh.
Let me share a story with you about something that recently happened. A new gaming memory that will stick with me for the rest of my life, or something I'm really, really proud of. To understand the significance, let me take you back to my childhood. My brother and I grew up in a gaming household. Our parents owned a Commodore 64, and shortly after, a Nintendo. Up until this point, gaming was mostly a casual recreation, but with the Super Nintendo, the games were bigger, bolder, yet familiar, and things went up a notch. Gaming got a more prominent place in our lives. Our parents were interested in adventure games and RPGs, specifically Secret of Mana, Lufia, and above all, Zelda. However, after the Super Nintendo, gaming changed. The arrival of 3D graphics and 360-degree freedom meant the games became more complex and controls less intuitive. games became bigger and bolder once again, yet this time more unfamiliar. Whatever the reasons were, when the era of polygons began, the gaming era of my parents came to an end. On top of that, my brother and I grew up. We became less dependent on our parents for games, and thus gaming itself was removed from their lives. Until there was the Switch with the new Zelda. My dad was immediately excited, so my mom, brother, and I came together and discussed, should we do it? Is it worth the risk after all those years? We decided it was, and on Father's Day we gave my dad a Switch with Zelda. It didn't take long for them to be fully immersed in the game. My dad with a controller fighting enemies, my mom giving him tips and watching his hearths. They discussed strategies on how to solve puzzles. Even when they were not playing, they discussed where to go next or how to defeat an enemy. I love this so much. And then there was that moment. I received a message from my mother. It was a photo of my father fighting Ganon.
Yeah.
It had been well over 20 years since gaming had a prominent place in their lives, and they experienced a game like this together. With almost 500 hours under their belt, I'm proud to say my parents beat The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
That's
At
awesome.
the end. Oh, that's great. And what makes me happy is if they still really have nostalgic for those 2D side scrollers, like the Switch is full of those, baby. Like there's Axiom Verge, stuff like that. Oh, that's awesome. Kyle Lee. Hi, Jones and Ian.
Hi.
As teased last month, people say that a lot of Cup of Jones, and I usually cut those out, but it's the showcase. So
Yeah.
It's $1 versus $10. So I'm like, all right, I'll put that intro in. As teased last month, my battle against the backlog brought me to Nier Automata, and I have to say, this is the first game I played from last year that challenges my Persona 5 GOTY claim. This is my first Platinum game, and I walked away from it absolutely astonished. The story was beautiful, engaging, thought-provoking, funny, and heartbreaking all at once. Initially, when EZA gave it the Best Soundtrack Award, I was salty, but after playing through it, I can't say I'm mad about it. But more than anything, I wanted to highlight something I haven't seen talked about regarding Nier. I'll be totally honest, I'm not very good at games. Most of the time I'm just playing for the story, so I play on easy so I can actually get through it. Nier presents one of the most fascinating easy modes I've ever come into contact with, as it allows you to customize your play experience with the use of auto chips. Through the inventory you can switch chips on or off that control attacking, evading, shooting, and healing, which lets you curate your experience completely. For me, I am terrible at evasion and shooting, so I had those both on, along with auto healing to ensure I wouldn't die. I just controlled attacking and movement, and I had an absolutely wonderful experience with it. This made going through the game multiple times to get the different endings fun without frustration, and I think more games should provide more player customization to choose exactly how they like to play games. Somebody brought up an easy mode earlier, and I like that. I like stuff that not only obviously has that, like has the opportunity. But Odyssey has that opportunity, but like gets creative with easy modes. Like I'm definitely a fan of that.
Just for clarity's sake, the full game or the normal mode and hard difficulty all have auto chips, but easy mode has different auto chips that you can only use in easy mode.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty cool, like auto shoot and auto heal and stuff.
I finished up with endings A, B, C, D, E, K, and O, but I'm planning to start over and get all 26 endings in my pursuit for my first ever Platinum Trophy.
Whoa. Platinum trophy?
Yeah, what did I say?
Platinum games.
Maybe that's what he means.
Platinum?
Next month, I'll be talking about two incredibly different RPGs from last year that I'm playing now. Mass Effect Andromeda and South Park The Fractured But Whole. As always, love and respect, Goldilocks in the Twitch chat.
Goldilocks. That's a good name.
Zachary Walton. Hey, Jones and Ian. Hey.
Hi.
When From teased their next game at the Game Awards in December, everybody at my viewing party all exclaimed, Bloodborne 2! I was the odd duck out when I jumped up and yelled, Shadow Tower is back! So for this month, I want to talk about my favorite From franchise that nobody could properly experience in the West thanks to Sony's intervention. For those who don't know, Shadow Tower is a spin-off of From's Kingsfield franchise. It's a cruel first-person RPG where players dive deep into an inverted tower deep underground that's split into a variety of ecosystems like poison, fire, and water. It's an incredible game, but not one I would recommend. I would, however, recommend its Japan-only sequel, Shadow Tower Abyss. The big change from all first-person From games before it is that it has proper dual analog support, which makes it far more enjoyable. While other Kingsfield games, and even the first Shadow Tower, just plopped the player into the world, Abyss sets the game up with an uncomfortably long boat ride with a grotesque monster that leads players to the tower. This tower, once again, is split up into multiple ecosystems that twist and turn in on themselves. Boss fights are also super interesting, and that many are more puzzles than combat encounters that require players to find their weaknesses hidden deep within a labyrinth like Seth the Scaleless. Damn it!
Seth.
If his crystal was in a dungeon far separated from him.
Seth is right.
Is it Seth? Mm-hmm. Oh, then I guess Seth was wrong. Okay. I did get it right. Finally, the game is set in the 1940s, so players have access to older weapons if they pick up in the tower, but also modern weaponry like guns dropped from soldiers who lost their way. Unfortunately, we never got to play it because Sony, the game's publisher in Japan, blocked the US publisher Agitech from publishing it here, despite them publishing all the previous From games because they didn't think it would sell. Fortunately, there is a fan translation patch out there, and I would highly recommend anybody with the means to check out this forgotten masterpiece.
Dude, this sounds
Love
awesome.
and respect. What I loved is Brad played some Kingsfield for the Souls Retro, and I love that like he's going through Souls games, all very difficult, all extremely challenging, even for somebody who's played them multiple times. But he played Kingsfield for like 5 minutes. He's like, all right, enough of that. Yeah. It's fun to see him give up on King's Quest. Like, if you see there's like a fire monster or something, there's something with like long arms that he's fighting. That is the very end of the footage I got from Brad. Like, that thing killed him, and then he was like, all right, you got enough. Okay, time to move on to art. Brad Russell, a.k.a. Tukes. Greetings, allies. I, like my fellow allies, was totally blown away by the performances and presentations at this year's anniversary show. Highlights for me were Jones's musical number, Don's brilliant and stylistic busted trifecta, and of course the debut of Boxpeak. The single greatest moment for me, however, was... the incredible musical medley of songs from Easy Update performed by Ian Hinck and the talented Noah Rain. I love it. Easy UP? Ease Up?
Sure.
Can I call it Ease Up now?
Sure.
How's Ease Up going? I was simply blown away by their performance, and it moved me more than I have been moved by a musical performance in a very long time. Despite being a patron for a long time, this is the first submission I have made to Community Showcase. I do so on behalf of a friend and fellow ally on Twitter who has perfectly captured my favorite moment from Easy Allies in Concert Revengeance. Lynn Redder is a talented painter specializing in portraits that display beautiful creations on Twitter and has been featured on group streams with renditions of Ben's cats and the adorable Sophie pup. I felt like this piece belonged in the showcase this month, so here it is. Lynn has a Patreon established to help pay for the costs of these works of art, and I'm certain even a few bucks a month would be appreciated and help tremendously. I will link it to here for anyone who would like to contribute. Patreon.com/LynnRedder, LYNREDDER. Lynn Redder. Lynn can also be found on Twitter @LynnRedder, so show some love and give a follow. Thank you all for everything you do. Love and respect as always, Brad Russell, aka Tukes, TOUKZ, on chat and Twitter. So yeah, thank you very much for that. And then as we're getting into art and stuff like that, remember, patreon.com/EasyAllies, Community Showcase for November. Showcase is a tag, so you can click on Showcase on the side there, and you can get all this stuff if you want to download it and check it out there. But yeah, I love it. I can't think of like who you remind me of in that picture. You look older than you are.
People said Robert Plant at one point.
Yeah, I kind of get like Aussie vibes just a little bit.
Oh, funny.
A little bit Aussie. Yeah, it's like I thought it looked like a professional show. I was happy. The video frame rate was frustrating, but like that definitely looks like you're like in Phoenix or something on tour. So beautiful. Thank you for that. Sarah Imshaw, greetings, Jones and Ian. Greetings. Zephyr Moon here. There's a simple little thing that I did a little while ago, and I think we can all agree. Rosalina is best girl.
Nice. It's true.
I love that.
It's weird that she's a heavy in Mario Kart.
Oh, like maybe one of the bigger classes. I guess
she's really tall.
I guess the way it factors out. I wonder if they like had to meet a quota of like to keep it balanced, and she was like the one character that the people hadn't really been assigned yet. Yeah. So they were like, oh, we'll just put her in there.
Or wait, because now that I'm thinking about it, in Galaxy, isn't she like 5 times bigger than? She's like huge, right?
I wonder.
I don't remember.
Maybe her wand is like super
she's like
heavy.
10 times the size of Mario, so that makes sense. She's like giant.
Oh dear, did I not?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh odds and bodkins.
Oh no. I think I might have neglected to add one. Is Steam CT not in there? Oh dear. Okay, hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go to Cam.
Hi.
Throw this in.
So how
Cover
are you?
for me!
How are you, chat?
Chat.
I'll say back to where is it? You know, that comment about being depressed. Mikhail, I think. Yeah. I suffered pretty bad depression when I was probably 14 through 24, 25-ish. And I would say, you know, just keep hanging in there. The therapy is great that you're doing that, and focusing on your breath is very important. Meditation, and yeah, having a community and things that you can enjoy, whether it's online or in real life, is very important. And yeah, just don't give up, because, you know, the chemicals in your brain will change over time, and things will stabilize, probably, and with work, it will definitely get you there. So just keep at it. Don't give up.
Yeah. Other side.
And yeah.
Talk about you. See, just even looking at that image, it's like. Let me go back. There we go. So this is your T-shirts from Steven CT. First, hi Brandon and Ian.
Hi.
First off, I just want to say how much of a delight it was to meet you and the other allies in person, finally, at the anniversary meetup. Not to mention how amazing everyone's performances were at the concert. I had a blast and shared some unforgettable times with the extremely close group of friends that I wouldn't even know were it not for EZA. This community means the world to me, and I can't wait to see everybody again at year 3. As for my submission this month, I wanted to share some of the designs I've made as Easy Allies fan merch. All of them were made in fun and in my spare time. Hope you enjoy.
There's another easy up. I guess that's a thing.
Yeah, ease up.
Ease up.
Ease up. He's down.
He's down.
He's down. You've blown the transaxle. You're just trying grinding metal. The Easy Allies is great. I mean,
Oh
that's
my, yeah.
The Castlevania is hot fire.
I like that. I less than 3.
So if you could have only one of these shirts, would you do the Castlevania?
That
Damiani. I love it's called Kamiani.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. All of these are good.
Yeah, the pink is pretty hot. Shambozos. I missed that meme. What's Shambozos?
That I've heard that referenced a couple times. I'm not in on that one either. I don't really know, actually. Yeah, that Castlevania is just too crazy.
Thank you for that.
Good job, Steph.
Oh, there's some photos coming up. Sorry. We'll get to you, Mike Huck. Monster Hunter. Hi, Brandon and Ian.
Hi.
It's from Chumnuan. Second anniversary was amazing. Seeing Ian and Noah perform a bunch of songs live and Puke Puke song were great. Music quiz made me cringe a bunch of times because I knew almost each of them, but it was enjoyable in the end. Biggest, but not the last surprise was you performing Melodies of Life, and I really didn't see that coming. Currently, Monster Hunter World is mostly playing limited hunts, but I just haven't reached 200 hours, 199 so far on it yet. But soon there will be the spring event, followed by Mega Man skin from Palico and Dante skin from Devil May Cry. I'll be sure to put some serious time in it again. Coming home from a trip, I was ready to pick my Ni no Kuni 2 Kings Edition from the store and begin my journey, and played 24 hours straight and put another 13 hours the next day, which wasn't wise since I slept 3 hours before I had to go to work, but I just couldn't stop. Been there. So much for that 30 hours gameplay, since I'm at 42 hours currently, and will probably finish it since I got a 5-day break. Love and respect, Tearju Engi. By the way, Kulu Yaku was supposed to have his speed lines because Huber said Devil Joe threw at him, but I forgot it in a hurry. So this is, I'm guessing this is his character. And then these are, I'm not familiar with this screen, but these are his stats. Is that?
Yeah, that's the guild card.
There you go. Does that resonate?
Let's look. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you for the update, Chum.
Might be when. That's what Chris's last name is, and it's pronounced Wen.
I got a very specific pronunciation on him. Whenever I see Nguyen, I say Nguyen. I put the as little of an N as I can. When. I like say when with my palate in the N position when I start it. But I very early in the life of Easy Allies put a Patreon post up where I said, "How do you pronounce all these crazy names?" And he was like, "Get ready. If you really want to do it, it's Tuam Nguyen." I was like, "All right."
Whoa.
So, and when I saw him at the meetup, I was like, I'm still doing that right? He's like, "You got it." Like,
nice. Okay. Cool.
He might just be kind. Tim Beshan. Finally, it's Ian's turn. Finally. Bam. Waited for it to show him this picture, creating a beautiful rainbow, and I always have to think of Rainy Day Ian when I always have to think of Rainy Day Ian when I see this picture. The photo was taken in New Zealand, Whitianga, which is Whitianga, pronounced Whitianga. I don't know why.
Whoa.
New Zealand was actually my first stop on the journey. After that, mostly Asia, as you might have noticed. And he's wearing the Easy Ally shirt in almost all of these photographs.
That's very good.
And they're really great, so thank you so much.
Weird coincidence? I don't know if this person knew this. Tim?
Tim Beshan.
One of my senior photos from high school is me, like, in a waterfall.
Nice.
Like this. Hilarious photo. So this is funny that he waited for me.
And then, saddle up, everybody. We're going on a journey with Mike Hook. This was supposed to be, if you recall from last month's showcase, Mike Hook's message. Fortunately, did not make it in because I said, if it doesn't get in, send me an email. He sent me an email. I dropped the ball. I had an amazing time in Seoul and Tokyo. In Korea, I went to the Olympics to watch some figure skating, hung out at a cat cafe, and visited my wife's side of the family. While those were all wonderful experiences, my dream has always been to go to Tokyo. I loved every minute of my time there once I figured out the very confusing train system. Remember, kids, when your politicians are telling you that you should privatize your postal service, subway systems, or really anything that is currently public, I can tell you from experience that it does not work with the Tokyo transit systems. Also, if you're expecting Tokyo to be the future, it certainly isn't anymore. If you want that I'm the future feel, then you want to go to Seoul. That place is the future. So now I'm in Shinjuku, Tokyo with my wife Jin and my brother-in-law. We arrived at our hotel at 1 a.m. and then immediately went to sleep. Not I was way too excited. I met up with my friend Meisha, who lives in Tokyo. We stayed up until 6 a.m. in the red light district, singing karaoke and going into bars where we were accepted. I like that the karaoke bars have you isolated in private rooms, as I am a horrendous but very passionate singer. Interested, but not so fun fact for travelers, the bars in Shinjuku heavily discriminate against anyone who isn't Japanese. The way they get away with this is by posting residents-only bar signs outside of the establishment, stating that you must live in the area to be a patron, as these tiny bars only seat maybe 12. It was obvious that they let any Japanese person in regardless if you are a resident in that area, but immediately send anyone away that wasn't. Afterwards, I went back to my hotel and slept for 4 hours. I woke up with the rest of the family and had breakfast at the Square Enix Cafe. They had awesome drinks and a yummy breakfast menu. Okay, so let's get caught up.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, are we supposed to be looking at pictures?
So here's the cat cafe.
Okay.
There's this cat. I was feeling it. I remember I went to a cat cafe in San Diego, and I was like, oh, you have to pay? Such an idiot. Of course you do. Like, got to make money somehow. I'm like, you can't just go in and play with the cats. Like,
just go play with the cats?
This is a pet store. Get out of here.
It's a premium on the cats, Jones.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, that cat's just... He's in. He's like, you. Don't stop. You with the buttons on your shirt. Keep going. And I guess that is the Olympics, I'm assuming, yeah.
Very cool.
Very bundled up. I'm guessing that's your friend. Oh, no, that's you go and look at the songs of the karaoke bar.
Karaoke bar.
Yes. I love the giant karaoke menu.
On the phone?
On the phone,
you, order the song?
When I first saw this image, I thought he was talking to, like, a travel agent or something, you know? And then she's like, all right, I'm going to lay everything out for you that you need to do. But no, that's just how fancy karaoke bars are. So here we go. They had awesome drinks at the Square Enix Cafe. They had awesome drinks and a yummy breakfast menu. I also purchased the High Potion, which is a delicious cocktail. Now we are off to Akihabara, the electric town. It's where every gamer must go. I did everything I could possibly do. I went to Super Potato, the Sega Arcade, all the shops. And of course, we could not leave until we went to a maid cafe. The maid cafe we went to is Home Cafe. It was amazing. It was like being in a highly energetic, sugary anime. Jin would not stop laughing at how excited and jolly I was being. They would not let us take pictures of the place or the maids, of course, but here are photos I was allowed to take of my drink and a paid photo of me with my maid. Oh my goodness, what in the world? Excuse me.
Whoa, bless you.
That's the same one.
It must be the square.
Yeah, crystals.
There.
Crystals. There's the exit through the gift shop.
That
So
must
I
be
guess
the
that's the-
1-up or the high potion,
Oh, nice, yeah.
maybe.
Oh, there's your there's your maid. Oh, it's so good. If you were all wary of going to one, I can tell you it's all very tame. There were more women and children in there than there were men. The next day we went out for real Kobe beef, which was delicious. We then went to Harajuku. I bought a lot of apparel there. Everything in Harajuku is so cute, and there are a lot of stuff for men that you never see in the States. I also grabbed a crepe, and after Jin said she was too full to have one, she ended up eating most of, to have one. Oh, and after Jin said she was too full to have one, she ended up eating most of my delicious crepe. It was a very sad moment for me.
Love's a hell of a thing.
That evening we went to Shibuya, and oh man, I was living out my Persona 5 dream. Everything by the train station was so true to scale. If you have a chance, watch a comparison video. It's amazing how much they got right. We grabbed ramen, sushi, and shopped around. It was all overwhelming in the best possible way. Lastly, there's a giant unicorn Gangnam? Might have spelled it. I don't know.
Gangnam?
Gundam? This is Gangnam. I don't know. Maybe they're called Gangnams.
Like Gangnam style. I don't know.
Yeah. Statue that I captured on our last night. It's definitely a Gundam, but thanks for listening, and maybe I'll get to see some of the allies at the Tokyo Game Show when I head back. Here we go. That's at the home cafe. Nice. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
We already got 10. Okay, cool. All right, now we have 2 videos.
Hey, we're actually going to make it before noon?
We're going to do it. Yeah, this is a quick one. There were a lot when there was more comments than videos. It tends to go by pretty quick. We have 2 videos this month. The first, we're going to kick it off. So here. Apply the headphones.
Apply headphones now. Put the mask on now.
This first comes from...
What?
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 Sean German Efficiency Clinton.
Oh.
Hello, allies. I'd like to submit a 2-minute long video that hopefully recaptures a little of the magic from the past EZA concert. While some of you have already seen and shared it, I hope the rest of you get to enjoy it as much as I did creating it. To me, EZA and its community is a truly special place, and I'm excited for things to come. So without further ado, I present to you EZA in concert backstage.
I'm excited to see this.
2.
Rob's thumbs upping. Ah!
Into the future now, and you'll see I conquered my dreams. Bot speak. How nervous are you?
Probably like 9.
8.5.
Like a 6.
So, Brett, are you nervous?
Slightly?
Omar!
What's up, chat? We see you, chat. Don't worry, we got a laptop back there. We're reading your stuff.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna forget some of the lyrics. But whatever.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
We will always be around. And if you trip and fall, stumble through it all, we will always be around. Talking about you, me, eternity. Talking about us together.
That was so nice.
Nice.
Thanks, Sean. Man, I got like emotional.
And we got, yeah.
Middle guy.
We got some last minute submissions. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. This comes from Elliot Barker. A little late this month, spread myself a little thin in March, and I couldn't quite get any of the new music I'd been working on done. I wanted to try and get the opportunity to show off my Korg monologue skills to Ian, but alas, it wasn't to be. So it's going to be another Sherbert Flies song this month. This at least affords me the opportunity to double down on my correction from last month, where in the January Community Showcase, Brandon had pronounced the band name Sherbert Files instead of Sherbert Flies, as is correct. This led to Brandon in the February showcase having to read out the relevant correction that I'd sent in. However, Mr. Jones read the correction out as the band name is Sherbert Files, not Sherbert Flies. Although, you wrote Sherbert Files the second time. Correctly, it specifically says Mr. Jones read the correction out as the band name is Sherbert Files, not Sherbert Files. So you did it too. I'm not quite sure.
Is this their band?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not quite sure if it was a bit. If it was, well played, Mr. Jones. Anyways, this song is called Nothing New, and it is my band Sherbert Flies. I play guitar and sing on it, a break from the transgender-related themes of the previous 2 months. The song is vaguely about anxiety and a lack of direction in life, which seems to be a theme of this March Community Showcase. Hope y'all dig it. Love and respect.
Sherbert Flies.
This rocks, too. Get ready. Get ready.
Already, I like the feedback. Whoa! Dude! This is like some lightning bolt. Steve Albini, yeah. Yeah, Food Coolie, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. That change up, I love it. Yeah! Sherbert Flies!
I feel bad because Elliot makes a lot of music that has heavy themes, but I just can't help but smile and rock out.
Yeah, yeah.
Listening to
hey,
Rick.
There's nothing quite like a sad song that sounds happy.
Yeah. That you just gotta rock.
Yeah, that was...
So these are, so a couple
really
late-minute
cool.
submissions. Walker Hope.
Walker.
Hopefully, I got this in on time, just barely. I was scrambling a bit to finish it in the 11th hour. The release of Sea of Thieves didn't exactly live up to everyone's expectations, but the art of the game is still pretty inspiring. If there's one thing I know about pirates, is that they can stand to treat each other with a little more love and respect. See you on the high seas, Walker Hope, a.k.a. Captain Hampton. Ah, no, go back.
Yeah.
It does sound like a shanty a little bit.
Yeah. Good job on that
Well
part.
done.
Good job on that part.
Yeah.
This is sick. Oh,
I want to play Sea of Thieves now.
yeah.
I wish this was just on loop.
Love it. Great. This is great. Community Showcase rules.
I love having the music at the end. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
good. It's I hate to save the best for the end, but it's just so nice to wrap it up with all these jolly vibes. Thank you very much, Walker, for that.
Oh, so good. Both of those
And,
songs.
I really want to end on Dominic's video because I just got a massive kick out of it. So I'm going to read a comment really quick. This is another. I'm going to have to make another document that there's going to be lots of reading in a couple months now that everybody's got to catch up on. We are now starting a new epic
Oh,
from Cisco Ace Jackson Garcia,
okay.
titled "Effortless Confederates Lunar Valen Academy Stories, Post 1."
Okay.
As Branton entered the school with his fellow recruits, he couldn't help glancing at all his eyes could see with a great sense of awe. They were led to the Hall of Paths at the center of the main wing. Here was a grand circular room with pathways leading out in all directions. Statues stood at the foot of every passage to signify which of the paths it would lead to. Brenton saw the statue of a king, a scepter in one hand and a scroll in the other. He would walk the path of lords and would study politics to lead his party to prosperity. As he began moving down the hall, weapon racks lined the walkway. Somewhere along the way, a rack of various ranged instruments caught the eye of the young man. He smiled as he saw the long bow and slung it over his shoulder. I like him already. Picking up
think
2
it's
short
you.
swords before reaching the end of the hall, he had chosen his class, Ranger. Upon reaching the end of the hall, the lad discovered that the halls would lead to their dorms. A woman awaited his arrival to show him to his quarters. As fresh recruits into the academy, the youngsters would have to stay here. Once they formed a party and gained enough fame and fortune, they would be allowed to apply for separate quarters where the party could live together. Not many parties gain this privilege, but it wouldn't stop Brenton from dreaming of it. As he reached his room, he places his beginner's weapons on the rack by the door and slung his bag onto the desk. Throwing himself onto the bed, he quickly fell asleep, thinking of the adventures that awaited him in the morn.
Love it.
To be continued! He also adds, "Hey gents, Cisco aka Ace here. Since Jonesy is on every one of these, decided to start out with him. Hope you liked it. As for Ian, well, he wasn't on the Q&A, so gonna need to pick a path and class so I can come up with your character." Oh, that was for me! Yeah! Oh, Branton. This is Branton.
Wait, you did.
There's a,
It's
coincidence.
you.
It's Breanten.
Yeah.
Brianton, maybe.
Brenton.
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 As for class, it's really anything you want to be. I imagined you as a bard walking the path of arts. More like the path of farts.
Oh.
The path of arts is for those who want
You
to support
rangers
their
are such
party but
bullies.
with dangers of their own, a freedom to practice in ways that are different than traditional training. But it's up to you, Ian. Much love and respect. Cisco, aka Ace. Also, sorry for going over the word limit. Worth noting that several people this month went flying over the word limit. But I could tell from looking at the offerings that we would get it in under 2 hours, so it would be okay. But in the future, might probably want to crack down on that.
I'll have to find out what the 9 paths are that I can choose.
And then finally, we're going to wrap it up with Dominic Barlow's video, which speaks for itself. Enjoy.
Make a video and could do an editorial on Tower, so I won't do that now, but I could. Dominic is earning. If there were an achievement for having a question read out on every Easy Allies Q&A segment, what would you call it? You're in the conversation now.
Oh, the bison, too.
Oh, that's
My
right.
soul is crushed. This question is from Dominic. He says, what's your favorite trailer for a game that you've never played?
The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh, wow. Persona 5.
Oh, right.
That's
Civ music.
Onimusha 3 Demon Siege.
I watched that thing
And that-
so
oh my God.
many
That thing-
times.
that
It
thing
is
is-
so good.
Oh, this music gets you right in the feels.
Dominic Barlow says, here's a Borgman anecdote of mine. As the end credits rolled, an old man sitting to my right leaned over to me and whispered, "What evil lurks in the hearts of man?" And then he laughed and walked off.
Thank you for the questions, Brian. Next one comes in from Dominic. He says, hey, allies, what games older than a year or two were new discoveries and a highlight of your 2017?
I just bought Space Channel on Steam right now.
Right now, right this second.
I can do some less than some stuff that I played through this year.
What? You just beat Dark Souls 3. Why are you not talking
They said
about
more
that?
than a year. They said more than a year
That's
too
last
old.
year.
No, it's just last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the platinum DZA. This guy, Dominic.
Getting into Love and Respect
Let me
is
just
probably the greatest.
give everybody a
achievement,
tip.
I think.
Oh yeah.
For submitting into Love and Respect. If you want a little edge, if you want a foot in the door, begin yours with "Good day, allies." Is it truly possible that we'll see more cheaper games with a high-end touch like Hellblade? Thanks, Dominic.
Didn't like our responses, apparently.
Yeah.
First one from Dominic Barlow. What role do you think the UI of the Switch and its eShop have played in it being so successful for indie developers?
What a beautiful point. What a beautiful question. Thank you for opening my eyes. That's amazing.
Good day, allies.
This comes to us from Dominic from Australia. We've all played racing games and stopped to scour the tracks for Easter eggs and shortcuts. How about a game where you stop racing to accept lengthy Witcher-like quests from bystanders?
2 words. Crazy Taxi. For that reason, I'm in.
You're in the conversation
That was
now.
Dominic from Australia.
Melbourne?
Melbourne.
That's me. He's like, I wonder if you're going to do the correct pronunciation of Melbourne. And I was like, Melbourne? I don't know what.
Melbourne?
Melbourne? I think it's Melbourne, something like that.
Melbourne.
I think I said Melbourne as well also, but he liked Melbourne.
Melbourne?
It's like people ask me to pronounce something sometimes, and it's like, I think if I got it wrong, they would like it better.
Yeah,
You know,
oh
it's
yeah.
like- and I guess to officially wrap things up,
The pièce de résistance.
here's the loop of this bison hit. Boom!
Ignoble
And the giggle, too, is really, really good.
Oh yeah, just got.
Wow.
Ignoble
It's a really powerful punch.
Oh yeah, just got. Ignoble beast.
One more time.
Oh yeah, just got. Ignoble beast.
Oh boy! And the credits, give credit where they credit is deserved. Jack Price says reserved, yo. XWF Outlaw reserved. Alex Castellanos, I gotta come up with something soon. And finally, Mr. David Cleland, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Dave. There we are. That is the community showcase for the month of March. I try to get everything in there in case I missed anything. Let me know. Hit me up via email, DM us on Patreon. That we will get include. Obviously, Mike Hook missed something from last month, so we had 2 entries from Mike Hook this month. Entries went a little long, but we still wrapped it up with 10 minutes to go. We're giving Daniel Bloodworth 10 minutes
welcome,
to get set
Daniel
up
Bloodworth.
for his. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, you might have missed Bloodworth's stream. You can still catch it, youtube.com/EasyAlliesPlays. But if you're just watching this live in 10 minutes, you can check out the Hall of Greats requirement, which is that a month after something gets into the Hall of Greats, the person that suggested it needs to play it I don't know if there's probably for 2 hours or something, but I think he might bang on a full playthrough. I don't know. He's
So
playing
I've
until
got to
3.
play Symphony of the Night sometime?
Yeah.
Oh,
And guess what I have to play?
What?
Nothing. Because nothing I've bitched has gotten in yet.
Pick better games, dog! Yeah. The year after, yeah, not the month after.
Yeah. GoldenEye 007 and World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
Those
trash!
Crappy games.
Garbage!
Yeah. Pong.
Yeah.
Try again.
Nobody's ever heard of that.
But more than any, obviously, the patrons at home, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for $10 a month. It ain't cheap. We have a lot of people who are just jumping up to that level. Thank you for telling us that it's something that has value to you, that you want to be a part of this community showcase, because it's something we very much enjoy. It's Ian's first time.
I love it.
There's one last person that we have to get on the showcase, so it will be Kyle Bossman, who will be joining me for the month of April. That will be obviously streamed in the month of May, the beginning of May. He was on the last episode of the community comments. Where we streamed all of the final community comments, but then that will get through the full. That means we have done 9 of the showcases. But more than anybody that I would like to thank would be Mr. Ian Hinck.
Oh,
wonderful performance here on the community showcase, and everybody watching in. Yeah, we did. I haven't been doing some subs at all, man. We got that went well. Resubbing for 14 months. Prototype J giving us some bits. Thank you very much. Phazon Masher resubbing. Thus spake the fox. Has subbed up. Nycrypt resubbed for 18 months.
There are a few other ones.
You scrolling?
I'm scrolling.
Why don't you give that a scroll?
I'm gonna give
on the
it a
right there.
scroll.
The Jastum resubbing for 24. 2 years. Loves EZA. Thank you. No Pagel. No Pegel.
Nope, JKL?
Nope.
Maybe?
Oh yeah. Nope. JKL. Spider-Man hype. Definitely feeling the Spider-Man hype. Resubbing for 18 months. Thank you. Whammy Time for 25 months resubbing. Clayton for 12 months resubbing. Thank you.
Stray GT.
Mr. Michael Jones gave us $5 via Patreon. Thank you so much. Peter Nordrum also pledging $5. Thank you. Bubonic Craig has subbed, and the Classiest Hobo has subbed. Classiest Hobo is definitely a name that I recognize.
Stray GT also.
Croatoan has subbed, and thank you so much. Thank you. This crazy thing that we do only exists because we are sponsored here. Because those Twitch subs are wonderful, but primarily we receive our funding through Patreon. So if you're interested in being a part of EC Allies, you can do it for just $1. You get a show that I do every week called Cup of Jones, where I answer questions from all of our community. We do the showcase once a month. You get the podcast early. You can be a part of Reaction Shots when that comes back next month.
We've got some exciting new things coming too.
Ooh!
Just
well,
in
there
general.
you go. That's how you incentivize people. And you have a whole month to plan them and get them just perfect and ready to go.
I mean, just in general, Easy Allies.
Oh,
Patreon.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're
We
not
have
discussing them quite yet.
We do have some fun announcements. Obviously, E3 is coming up in a couple months. If you missed that, Mr. Michael Damiani put up a wonderful post where we asked for feedback. Some people have been asking, actually, in the last Cup of Jones, we talked about having a survey for people to chime in, and so we want just that. We want you to chime in on what you want to see from Easy Allies for our coverage of E3 2018, which, man, we're going to blink, and it's going to be E3.
Oh, yeah.
It'll just be another month before we sit down again with Kyle Bossman for another wonderful community showcase. Thank you. I absolutely dearly loved all of these submissions. They're really, really great. We have a lot of talented people in our community. Thank you so much for watching. Love you, everybody. Take care.
Bye.